Hello and welcome. This is my first attempt at really recording anything that I have to do in the world of music. You can see I have a few guitars and basses here. Over the years, I've played a lot of different instruments and different genres of music, and I've drank a lot of coffee along the way too. Today we're going to be setting up, what's this here? This is my first ever bass guitar. I've not played it in a super long time. And as you can see in the video, there's some dings, some scratches, there's some knobs missing, maybe there's a little extra dust, some chips. But you guys will hear it later on. Maybe not in this video, but certainly in another one. So let's get started on this Ibanez Soundgear 4-string bass. What we're going to start off with is, obviously, we're going to detune all of the strings here. I'm not replacing the strings. I am very frugal. And what I do every time is, you just need to get it so they're not making any pitches. That's maybe what you see in a music video with those floppy little bass strings, and that's what I'm gonna do in between every little thing that I do along the way here. Overall, this process took me a little over an hour start to finish. I had to feed my cats in the middle, and well, you might see there's a little trial and error as we go along the way. So, like I said, my first kind of foray into recording anything to do with my world of music. What I was doing there was I was getting the little protective plate off of my truss rod and making the first adjustment. We are going to see me tuning a lot. There's a lot of tuning involved and a lot of how does it feel? So I play up and down the neck every time, try to play some chords, try to just play some chromatic, dead notes, Here I am deciding whether or not I like what I did. And, well, I don't. It takes me a long time to figure out my approach because, I don't want to go too far. And I'm not a professional, so sometimes I have to take reference and remember what everything does and where it goes. So I picked up my 5-string that I think I set it up this year. Definitely needs some new strings. Maybe I'll make that into a different video. That one's also an Ibanez. A little bit different on the bridge. As you can see on this one, we're going to make a couple of adjustments. We're going to push those saddles or pull them, and that's going to change the intonation. And then the barrels, the saddles, can actually go higher or lower. So I start making my first adjustments here. Just again, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. In the end, I bring down the action a lot. And this bass really, it sounds like a brand new bass all over again with these nickel, I think it's wound strings that I have on there. You can see the, change of time happening. Right here, I am moving those saddles, trying to intonate. There's a lot of tuning that goes into this. I don't go too crazy when it comes to trying to intonate my bass, as long as my open string and my 12th fret harmonic are like the same pitch, and the same pitch when you fret that 12th fret. Say that 10 times fast. As long as those pitches are very, very similar, then I'm a very happy camper. I don't pay too much attention to the 5 or the 7. But a lot of people who are more professional than I'm sure, can talk a lot more about the actual intonation. This is me, again, going through each and every string. And this looks like me tuning back down. Yeah. Time for a break, I think. This is my cat, Harry. He is very curious. He always chooses to be more curious about what I'm doing on this table whenever I seem to be doing something that does not include him. So you might see him bouncing in and around. Break time is up, and it is back to the truss rod. I did not go far enough. What you'll see is just kind of going for it at this point. I know pretty quickly that I went too far because I hear a lot of fret buzz. Like, I'm not even fretting the string, I think, and it just is gross. Or perhaps this one was not quite far enough. I do kind of go a little too far at one point and dial it back. So yeah, right there you can see that righty-tighty, lefty-loosey that I didn't go quite far enough. And now I am just going to go for it on this attempt way to the right, making it super tight. I think, yeah, you'll see me go for it again, just a little bit more, and it's just too much. I think I get that first string tuned up, and I just... No. I'm doing the voiceover on a different day here, so it is hard to remember each and every step of the process here, but you can definitely see there's a lot of trial and a lot of, not necessarily error, but just preference. I could have put this bass down as soon as the truss rod felt like the action was restored, and the strings were close enough to the fretboard that I didn't need to like do a 400-pound back squat in order to get that string fretted. If you get that reference, then you'll definitely enjoy the music that I'm planning on putting out here. I am still finding my style. This is my very first attempt at a I don't know if this is a documentary style. It's definitely just a voiceover going on for this video. But this is super, super important stuff. And I think that as any sort of guitar or electric bass player in particular, you got to know how to set up your guitar or your bass, because you're the one who's playing it. And I don't necessarily like my strings to be super, super close. Like, some people love just like a business card's worth of depth to their strings, and it's just not me. I don't like it super close because I do a lot of... I'm pretty heavy-handed when I don't necessarily want to be. But I think that having a preference is very important, because if I don't like it super, super close, then I might just like end up with my strings way off, you know? And you can see the Grand Canyon between my strings and the fretboard. But that's not me. I like a little bit, just a little bit. It's totally preferential. I don't think I have the camera technology to actually show you. But at some point, when I do go too high, I hear that string buzz on the truss rod, and not the truss rod. I hear the string buzzing on the fretboard because I made the truss rod too tight. I think at this point I am well beyond that mistake, and I am making these final touches on the intonation. I have finally found the right saddle length, how far away from the nut and from the bridge it is, and the saddle height, right? And that's really where where the depth comes from, is the height of those barrels. My intonation was just a little bit off, because that's what I'm doing here. The intonation is that the tuning of the actual frets, right? So I can't change the position of the frets, but I can change the position of the barrel. And when I change the height, make that barrel higher, it does tend to also change the intonation. So it's a very delicate balance of how far you're going on the truss rod, how far you need to intonate, and how high you really like your strings off of the fretboard. And here you can see me wrapping up. I finally got it down and am happy with my tuning. Stick around for some more videos, maybe more how-tos on guitar, certainly recording, and new music. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Again, please subscribe, hit like, do all of those things. I am planning on being around a little bit more often, whether it's going to be weird or not.